YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about 5 or a couple veteran receivers that the Washington football team should go out and sign. Shout out to Pedro Smith. I seen his video on this, and I just wanted to give my input because I already made a video about veteran receivers that we should sign, but I wanted to update it in a little bit because back then we didn't know that Emmanuel Hall was going to be getting cut. We didn't know that we were just going to be rolling with Terry McLaurin, Steven Sims, AGG as the 3 really receivers that we really have that we're expecting to make the roster. So we really are needing help at the wide receiver position, man. So we're going to be talking about what veteran receivers that we should go out and sign. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington football team. And let's get straight into today's video. Hey you, you, the one that's about to watch this video. You didn't hear about it? I just launched my new Instagram, Juan Gotti Sports Network. Go ahead, go over there and give me a follow. It's free, and we cover anything DC sports related or anything sports related from all major sports, whether that's MLB, NHL, NBA, or NFL. I promise you won't regret it. We cover everything, whether you're a Knicks fan and you're a Giants fan, whether you're a Redskins fan. Although we are DC sports here as fans, we do cover every other sports league and every other sports team. So go ahead and give me a follow. I promise you won't regret it. Link in the description. So like I said, before the whole Kelvin Harmon injury broke out and he tore his ACL and stuff like that, we were thinking that the wide receiver position was going to make a big leap in 2020. And we were like, oh man, Kelvin Harmon, he's probably going to be the most improved player on this team, especially the offense goes. But then fast forward a couple weeks later, we found out that he has a torn ACL. We already knew that Emmanuel Hall had a torn Achilles, so we cut him, or we released him rather. So it's leaving us really thin at the wide receiver position. Like I said, all we have really that we know that's going to start is Terry McLaurin, Steven Sims, and also Antonio Gandy Golden. So we do have a bunch of young wide receivers, but I feel as though all of our receivers are young. All of our receivers are young. We know that we need some type of veteran leadership at the wide receiver position. I feel as though, me personally, that every position group should have at least one veteran, maybe 2 at their position. And as the running back position goes, we know we have Adrian Peterson there. But wide receiver goes, we don't have no. It's like young guys leading themselves. The blind is leading the blind. The offensive line, we got Brandon Sheriff, Morgan Moses. We have a ton of veterans there on the offensive line. But then the wide receiver goes, like I said before, is that is leading the blind. You know what I'm saying? So we need some sort of veteran. We thought it was going to be Cody Latimer, but yesterday he did get put on the commissioner's exempt list along with Quentin Dunbar and DeAndre Baker. So we're going to have to wait and see if he's going to be allowed to come off. But it doesn't seem like he's going to be able to come off anytime soon. So we really are in the need for some sort of veteran help at the wide receiver position, because we're really young, and we have a couple of wide receivers here that I wanted to talk about and share with you guys according to NFLTradeRumors.com. But before I even get into the list, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This list is not that good, honestly. I say it's probably a few names that you guys may know, including myself, that I may know, because this list is really, really bad. Honestly, it's no good wide receivers, no good veteran wide receivers outside of like a few that can really come in here and help our team out. So we have a tweet from head coach Ron Rivera. He just finished doing his interview, and he did say, I'll put the quote on the screen, or the tweet on the screen, so you guys can read along. He says, per JP Finley, Rivera says if there was a position of concern, it most certainly would be the wide receiver depth. So it's cool now that he knows. I'm pretty sure he been knew since the injuries were going down, but it's cool that he knows, and we're not just the only ones saying that the wide receiver depth is horrible and we need some more wide receivers in here. So it's cool that he knows, because then maybe we will go out and get a veteran receiver. So let's get straight to the list. The list, a couple of names that I had was obviously the notable ones, such as the Josh Gordons and the Dez Bryants. I really believe that we weren't going to sign Josh Gordon, but I feel as though now that we need a veteran receiver, we would have to go out and get like someone like a Josh Gordon. That's just me though. know. But then again, I don't know if he got placed on the commissioner's exempt list, but I'm pretty sure he did. So we would have to wait a couple weeks into the season to actually use him, and I don't know if that's really a smart idea. You also have Dez Bryant, who a lot of people want on this team for some reason. I like Dez Bryant, don't get me wrong, but I just don't know how he's going to come back after missing 2 years of football and then coming off a torn Achilles. I don't know how he's going to act or how he's going to play coming back from a torn Achilles. But that's another name that we could possibly look out for, is a Dez Bryant. You have Jermaine Kearse on this list, who's 30 years old, who was really solid in Seattle. You also have Tavon Austin, but I don't know if you guys want to go the smaller route. I was looking more towards, like, not the bigger route, but just someone that can go up and get the balls when you need them to. I was looking more as far as an outside receiver goes, because we do have Steven Sims and Antonio Gibson holding it down in the slot. Another receiver that a lot of people were talking about was Demaryius Thomas, who formerly played for the Jets, had his prime in Denver, and he really hasn't been the same since. He is currently 32 years old, but I don't think age really matters at this point, honestly. Long as you still can run and just catch a few balls here and there and show the veteran leadership to our young guys, we really would be good at this point, honestly. It's not like we're asking them to come in here and start. We just need someone to fill in a roster space, honestly. And I know that kind of sounds harsh, but it's just the truth. We don't need you to go out there and start. We just need you to go out there and catch a few balls here and there. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunately that the injury bug has hit us this hard to where we have to go out and get a guy like Demaryius Thomas, who's obviously past his prime. And like I said, you have Josh Gordon, you have Jordan Matthews, but my 5 or my 3 would be Josh Gordon. I know a lot of people are going to hate me for this, but probably go out and get Paul Richardson again, but sign him back on a friendly deal, probably $1 million, maybe $2 million at the most. And then the rest of these guys, I don't really see no one else that is really, that good in a way. So the other guy that I possibly would say, probably a Jordan Matthews or something like that. Jordan Matthews is 28 and he played for the San Francisco 49ers. So I mean, I guess we can go out and get a Jordan Matthews. But other than that, I don't really see anyone else that I could really talk about outside of the 5 that we were talking about. Is Chris Hogan, maybe a Jermaine Kearse, maybe a Josh Gordon. Ryan Grant, we formerly had Ryan Grant, and he was really good for us. He's 29 years old. He was really good for us when we had Kirk Cousins here. He was a nice slot receiver. You have Justin Hardy from Atlanta, who was really solid with Atlanta last year. Like I said, you have Chris Hogan, you have Taylor Gabriel, and you have Tavon Austin, but Tavon Austin is more on the smaller side. So if I'm being honest, we really have 3 receivers that I would want us to get, and that's Josh Gordon, maybe Paul Richardson, Demaryius Thomas, or Ryan Grant. Like I said, this list isn't too good, honestly, but it's something. We just need something to help out the young guys. That's why I want to go more towards a Chris Hogan, because Chris Hogan is really on it. He's still solid, and he's a veteran receiver. So I think we need to go and get a guy like a Chris Hogan who has a clean record. Who if we were to get a Josh Gordon, we would possibly have to wait a couple games to see or to even get him. But I would go the Chris Hogan route. And if we don't go the veteran routes, I will understand that, because I mean, we still have a lot of guys on this roster that hasn't been able to get their shot. That's just going to open up the practice squad guys even more, or the undrafted free agent guys even more. The Joneses of the world, the Jonathan Joneses, and also the Isaiah Wrights. I really like Isaiah Wright. We also have Darvin Kinsey and Cam Sims, who really haven't been able to get their shot. And I know people are going to say, well, Cam Sims was given his shot last year in the Baltimore game. Yeah, he was, but this year I feel as though now that we need someone like that, he's going to show out, honestly. 6'5", Cam Sims. It was a lot of talk to move him to tight end, which is still wouldn't be a bad idea, but he would just have to put on some weight. But 6'5", Cam Sims, 6'4", Antonio Gandy Golden would be a nasty 1-2 punch, because either way you go look at it, if Antonio Gandy Golden's in the game, you have height over the cornerback, and even if Cam Sims is in the game, you still have that extra height over a quarterback. I think Cam Sims will be a really good red zone target, so even if he doesn't come in the game a lot, we still can count on him as the back shoulder fade for the touchdown, because we know how much we like to use those with taller receivers. With Isaiah Wright, we was looking to use him more as a kick return, punt returner, but now with all these injuries, we would have to use him as a wide receiver, which isn't too bad because he was really solid at tempo in the slot and also on the outside. So it's gonna open the doors up for a lot of young guys. So I can easily see why we wouldn't go with a veteran, but I think the veterans that I would go for if we did would be Josh Gordon, obviously, as the #1 option. But if he is gonna get suspended, then don't go for him. Chris Hogan, and there's another guy that I would go for. Maybe Paul Richardson on a friendly deal, $1 million deal, who we recently just got rid of and paid him all that money to produce nothing. So there are some guys out there like a Ryan Grant or Jordan Matthews, like I said, or Demaryius Thomas. We don't need a guy coming in here trying to be the starter. We just need someone that's going to come in here and show the young guys the ropes and just maybe go out there and catch a few balls here and there. That's why I think Dez Bryant would be a good fit. So my top 3 would be Chris Hogan, Dez Bryant, Demaryius Thomas, or I would say Josh Gordon. But Josh Gordon, once again, we don't know if he's going to get suspended or not. So with that being said, it's been your boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe, hell to the Washington football team. Let me know what you guys think we should do at the wide receiver position. I gave you my opinion, now the floor is yours. As always, been your boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe, hell to the Washington football team. I'm out. Peace.